I wasn't always someone who could focus. I was the kid sitting in the very last row of math class, staring at the teacher, hearing every word, but absolutely nothing landing. It was like my brain was permanently half offline. I wasn't dumb, I wasn't lazy, I just couldn't hold a thought long enough to use it. Fast forward to now, I can sit down and focus for 4 to 5 hours straight. That's how I became a software engineer at Fortune 500 companies and the top performing student in my engineering program. Same brain, but different wiring. And that's when I realized something most people never hear. Your attention span doesn't just disappear. It was trained out of you. There's a concept in neuroscience called neuroplasticity. It means your brain literally reshapes itself based on what you do every day. If you play chess for 300 days in a row, you get good at chess. Not because you're special, but because your brain rewires itself to optimize for that behavior. It builds circuits for pattern recognition, patience, and deep focus. But now look at what most people are training instead. Endless scrolling, short form videos, constant notification, infinite novelty. Your brain adapts to that too. It learns to crave new stimulation, get bored instantly, and chase the next dopamine hit. So now when you try to read, try to work, try to think, your brain panics and goes, where is the next thing? That's not a discipline problem. That's neuroplasticity in the wrong direction. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Your attention is one of the most valuable resources on earth. There are billions of dollars being spent by tech companies whose only job is to study your psychology and track what holds your eyes and engineer feeds that hijack your brain. They compete on how long they can keep you hooked. So while you thought you were just scrolling to relax, your brain was being trained to become more impatient, more distracted, and more addicted to novelty. But here's the interesting part. The same force that damaged your attention span is the same force that can help restore it. Neuroplasticity works both ways. Just like your brain learned to be scattered, it can relearn how to be focused, and that is exactly what happened to me. Think of your attention span like a muscle. Not something you're born with, but something you actually train and build. Just like you don't walk into a gym and deadlift 300 pounds on day one, you don't suddenly focus for hours. You build it instead. And thanks to neuroplasticity, your brain strengthens what you repeatedly train. So I stopped trying to force focus and instead started training it. So the very first thing I did was to create a distraction-free environment. This was my mental gym to train my attention span. In this environment, I did not have a phone. There was little to no noise around. All I had in this mental gym of mine was a task that required my complete focus. It didn't matter if it was a programming problem, a math assignment, or a YouTube script. Every morning, as soon as I would wake up, I would immediately hit this mental gym of mine. I would sit down and try to focus. But to be honest with you, the first few days were kind of uncomfortable. I could barely sit still for 20 minutes. However, after a couple of days, neuroplasticity began kicking in and focusing began to feel a bit easier. So I started to increase the weight in the gym. I increased the duration of my focus sessions incrementally, and when that got easy too, I increased the number of focus sessions that I performed in a day. This principle of progressive overload and basically training your attention span like a muscle increased my focus from just 20-30 minutes a day to 4 to 5 hours a day. And the best part was that focusing now actually felt enjoyable. I was having fun working because everything felt easy to understand and I did not have to fight myself to focus. I was now doing a week's worth of work in a single day, and I kid you not, my source of pleasure in life had shifted. Things like scrolling and playing video games just lost their attraction. Now what excited me was learning a new skill or building and creating something. The thing is, one day your life will be over. You will actually die. And what will remain is whatever you built with your attention. Every great thing, from your connection to God, relationships, skill, purpose, freedom, it all begins with the ability to stay with something long enough. So I hope that you make a real change to your life starting today. And in case no one has told you this, I am rooting for you.